Welcome back to the Aohudis podcast. Guess what?
What's happening?
You ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's a momentous day. You want to know why?
Were we under 100 subscribers again?
Yeah, we are. But, bro, this is episode 28 of the Aohudis podcast.
Nice. That's got to be top 0.5% now.
Something like that, right? But today I want to talk about advice for incoming freshmen.
Okay.
So you and me are both. It's the summer of going into our junior year of college, and so I feel like we have an okay amount of experience in college, and I wanted to give people who are going into their freshman year some advice. As a freshman, knowing what you know now, or as a junior, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently what would you just do as a freshman to maximize your college experience, both socially and academically?
Socially and academically. Okay, that's good because I was going to talk about both of those.
Yeah. There's
Socially, actually, you know what? Let's start with academically. Academically, I'd say, and I guess everybody has a kind of a different gauge of how they, want their college experience to be academically. Like some people will have some people will go for all A's and will try to get as good as possible, and then some people will kind of what's it called? The C's get degrees, or, it's like it's better than good is good enough. But I mean, academically is a little bit more nuanced because I think that's a lot more based on your major. You know what I mean? But I didn't focus as much as I should have on my freshman year. I actually focused a lot more on the social aspect, and I guess I would say I regret it in a little bit. So I mean, that's definitely number one. Is you don't have to go for perfect 100s, but you're there to get your schoolwork done at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So college, it's for experiences and it's for opportunities, of course, and those will come throughout your college years. But I think first off, you need to figure out some good study habits because college isn't going to help you, get those habits. I mean, they have resources for you if you need help, or at least my college did, but they're not your parents. They're not gonna make you do the schoolwork. So you need to make your own study habits for college specifically, and that's academically.
What do you think about socially?
Socially, honestly, and this is such a cliche answer, really, but just honestly, stop caring about what people think so much and be yourself. Like, I know that sounds very hard. It's hard for me to explain how to do it, but I mean, there's a lot of good reasons why.
To do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's hard to explain how to do it, because you hear that all the time. You're like, oh yeah, just be yourself, and you're like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Do you think it comes with just confidence in yourself? You know what I mean?
I don't know, because I've had times in my life where I've been confident in myself, and socially, I don't think extrovert is the right word, but I guess content in my social interactions, maybe.
So you were confident in your... Okay.
There's also been times where I haven't felt great about myself, but I've still been able to be myself.
In those social interactions, would you say you were, quote, faking it? Where you didn't feel like yourself, but you were still kind of...
Well, so it wasn't that I wasn't feeling myself, I just wasn't feeling confident in myself, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But to be fair, I also... On average, I really don't think I've had too much of a problem with that in general. You know what I mean? I mean, just going out and kind of. I wish I knew the person who said this quote, but it's not a quote, but it's kind of a saying. It's like, you don't want to be liked. Well, it's impossible to be liked by everybody or loved by everybody. Man, I'm screwing this quote up. I apologize to whoever this guy is. It's not on the quote anymore.
The ers and ahs were a part of the quote, guys.
It's in the quotes. But I mean, it's essentially like to have people that love you, you're also going to have people that hate you.
Yeah.
And that's something that you have to accept. And so trying to be non-polarizing, or trying to be liked by everybody is going to make you like a non-polarizing person. Nobody's going to love you. And so I kind of realized if people hate me because I'm myself, that's something I can deal with. That's okay. It's
almost like a good thing in some regard.
It is a good thing, yeah. And so for the most part, I'm okay with that. And I guess I learned that pretty early on. I don't know exactly what taught me that, or I don't know if it was nature or nurture, like
being confident in yourself,
or just being able to be myself. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't know if I was taught that or I was kind of just born with that. But I haven't really had too much of a problem with that. So I have trouble telling people to be themselves, because I know that that's a hard saying to accept and
Yeah.
do. You know, it's.
I got some
What about you?
advice. So for academic, I'll go academic then social. Academically, it depends what kind of degree you're getting, to how good of the grades you're getting. But obviously, just try your hardest. Like, why wouldn't you? You're there. You know what I mean? You're paying insane amounts of money. You might as well get good grades. And for going into jobs and internships, internships are gonna be your best friend in the entire world. They're gonna be huge. You know, you talk to the people who graduate college, and a lot of them I've spoken to are like, yeah, they didn't care about anything other than this one internship I had in sophomore year, and they had that for the whole interview. And so, what I would recommend to get internships is career fairs. Career fairs are literally a game changer. It is the biggest cheat code in the world. This is how I do it as somebody who's, I would say, pretty good at getting internships. So what you want to do is you want to research 3 to like 6 places, do like 15 minutes of research on their website, and then you go to them at the career fair and say, hey, literally say this, hey, I saw on your website X, I was wondering why. So I saw on your website this thing, and now you're asking for more clarification on this thing and how it relates to your position in that role. You do that, free. You know what I mean? Free. They'll basically ask for your resume, and if they don't, and print out your resumes. Print out your resumes.
Yeah.
Print out your resumes. They'll ask for they'll ask for your resume, and if they don't, say, hey, can I give you my resume? Right? Make sure you don't leave a table without giving them your resume, unless you're like, yeah, I definitely don't want to do this.
Don't write a sloppy resume.
Don't
guys.
write a sloppy resume. Have a good like YouTube videos.
You don't need
can
10
help.
years of experience.
You can go to Canva. They have resume outlines. I still have one of those as my resume. Like, it works perfectly fine. Have a picture of yourself. Look presentable, obviously, when you go to the internship fairs. Also, it's crazy because they'll literally like text you. They'll be like, hey, can I interview you? In my experience, they usually do it through text, but you can, whatever. But yeah, so that's free, in my opinion. Career fairs are the biggest thing academically. And so socially, let's see. I would encourage everybody to go to as many club meetings and so at my college, there's like a big like festival thing at the beginning of the year where all the clubs like lay out near the union, and they all like kind of it's basically like a career fair but for clubs, right? And so you can scan the little QR code, join the group me, and say, hey, whatever. I would encourage you guys to join every group me possible. Join them all. Even if you're like, debate club, what the heck is this? But it could be amazing, you know what I mean? And even if it's not amazing, you could meet somebody who like, okay, I really like this person. I love to hang out with them outside of the club. And so go to every single club imaginable, and obviously you don't have to continue to go to everyone, but go to every interest meeting you possibly can. And then honestly, like, if you obviously prioritize the things you're interested in, like if you really like golf, you can actually commit to a golf club where you guys go out and golf often, you know what I mean? Something like that, or fishing. But it's so huge. And then this is a little bit of a niche tip. This isn't a niche tip. This is just a little bit of a weird one. When you go to your classes, you're sitting next to strangers, say hi. Like, introduce yourself. Like, I usually go, hey, I'm Alexander. It's nice to meet you, and like put out my hand to shake your hand. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but I mean, I find that it's very beneficial. And then you just ask them, like basic, like they know what you're trying to do. Like, you're just trying to start a conversation. Like, don't be afraid of like, hey, what's your major? Why'd you go to this class? Is this just a filler class? Like, try to get to know them. You know what I mean? And then it's also super helpful to get their numbers so you can get their notes, study with them. Having a couple contacts in classes is just huge from an academic level anyways. And then obviously what Owen was saying is the biggest thing, where it's like, it doesn't matter if people don't like you. It really doesn't. As somebody who used to and still does, I'll use the word like, quote, struggle with being like confident. Something that's really helped me is working on my systems. And what I mean by that is like the work you do behind the scenes that nobody sees. So if you're trying to become if you really want to get good grades, work very hard to get good grades behind the scenes, and like where nobody sees it, it's just you working. To me, that actually overflows into confidence in other aspects. Like, when I say I do something, it means I actually will do it. Like, I'm gonna go work for 4 hours, and then I actually go work for 4 hours. I actually do it, you know what I mean? And then gain, like, if you're curious about like religion or something, say, hey, I'm going to dedicate an hour to religious studies, and actually your confidence in who you are from a worldview perspective, in my experience, does overflow into like social perspectives, because okay, like, yeah, I'm all right with going out and drinking for a night, or okay, this isn't something I want to do. You know what I mean? Not saying either one's right or wrong. I'm just saying like some people are different, right? And so you have becoming more confident in yourself is like saying yes and no to things, and knowing why you're saying yes and no to things, not doing things because everybody else is doing them. You know what I mean? And so that's really helped me.
Yeah, shoot, even if you're not in college, I'd say that's great advice. Getting to those systems and the confidence.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much everybody says this, but the work that nobody sees is the work that actually matters.
That's a bar.
Yeah, yeah. And so that's been really helpful for me. It's just like, that's all that matters, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, going back to what you were saying about like the talking to other people in the class thing, like that's a big thing. I mean, it's such a small thing to do, and it gets you so many like contacts and friends.
It was really intimidating for me at first.
Yeah. And it's like, you think it's like a weird thing to do, but then you kind of, think to yourself, okay, if somebody walked up to you and they did that, would it be weird?
Oh, no, you'd love it. You'd love it. And also,
you'd love to.
It is, by definition, it is a weird thing to do because nobody else is doing it. And so by definition, that's weird and abnormal. It's not normal, right? But that's good. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing to be abnormal. Yeah. It's a good weird, and then, sometimes you start having a conversation, other people join in, and then everybody's now talking, and you're like, I'm the guy who did this.
Yeah.
And that creates a lot of confidence too, knowing like, I'm the guy who started this. You know what I mean?
It feels good.
It does, yeah. But yeah, you hear people at the top, or not people at the top, adults, like people who are older say like college is the best years of your life. For some people it's very true, for some people it isn't true, but it's always, memorable years. And so don't sit in your room all day and do nothing.
Yeah, I always get scared when I hear that, because like basically what they're saying is like, all right, it's downhill from here.
It's all downhill.
Well, this is your peak.
Yeah, I don't think college are going to be the best years of my life.
No, I don't think so. I think my best years are just starting.
Yeah,
or not having even started yet.
I hope they haven't even started yet. I've either already peaked or I'm going to peak, but I don't think I'm at either right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's going to be. I enjoy my time at college, but I don't know.
I think I'm gonna keep going on the up and up until like my body and mind starts to fail me.
Me too.
I mean, even if I'm like a good like 50 something, I guess your body is starting to go down a little bit, but you can still go out and do stuff. So.
Yeah. When you're that age, it just depends what you did prior to like make it so your body can do those things. Like, are you eating like crap? Are you not working out? Or are you working out and not eating like crap?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and even away from health, like how many hours have you worked? Like how much financially are you stable?
Yeah.
Like, can you retire right now?
Working.
And the more that we go, the longer. I think the higher the retirement age is going. Like I think a year or two ago they raised it by like 5 years.
Oh yeah, well.
I think it's 73 now.
Is it really?
Somebody fact check that. I
73.
think so.
I saw it was 60.
Maybe
your Roth IRA starts
63?
kicking at like what, 65, 63, something like that.
Really? Okay, maybe it's
Something like
63 then. I apologize.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure.
Yeah, disclaimer.
Fact check. I don't know. I don't know. But it's super huge. And then get on. I mentioned it just now. This isn't really a tip for college, but it's a tip for just young people in general. That I get a lot. I've gotten a lot because I'm a young person. I get this a lot. Is like start investing early. You're guaranteed millionaire by retirement age if you start investing in a Roth IRA right now at 18. Like, you're guaranteed millionaire. You know what I mean? If you continue to invest month over month, and so by retirement age, and so look into it. Look into the stock market and stuff like that. Like it's huge. Like that will compound. Like I think it's like the difference between starting at 18 and like 28 is like millions of dollars you're leaving on the table just by like doing the same things. You know what I mean? And so. Do that for sure. I would definitely recommend.
Yeah, and also invest in your health early too. That's
yes.
This is also actually I would say this is a college one. At college, you no matter what, just go hit the gym. That is an amazing.
It's also a really good social
thing. It's amazing. For yourself, it's amazing. You don't even have to be like this bodybuilder. There's all types of people in that
You'll
gym.
find that basically everybody hits the gym at college.
And also, a lot of the colleges out there normally have some pretty nice gym equipment.
Oh yeah, I would take advantage for sure.
Like I know your college is, bro. He's got like a 3-story gym or something.
It's 5 stories.
5-story.
But only 2 of them are like useful, unfortunately.
Oh really?
Yeah, because one of them's like. Not even a story. It's like a
for show.
little, yeah. And then there's only 2 like only 2 stories for weightlifting equipment and so.
Okay.
But there's like a track, like that counts like the basketballs and everything like that.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. Dude, they got like nice ping pong tables. I don't know. Do you ever get into sports too much in college?
Ping pong and pool.
Like
I mean,
recreational.
in the dorms, obviously freshman year.
Yeah.
But not really.
I got you.
Not really. I'm trying to get into golf though.
Golf. That's
Yeah,
a cool one.
I'm trying to like hit the driving range consistently.
Do you have one at your college?
No, but like near my college.
Oh, like not part of the
like I'll
college?
go out with some friends. It's really fun. It's finding a group of people who like doing what you like doing is some of the greatest like social anything ever. Like you going out golfing, going out playing tennis, going out playing volleyball, fishing, like those. It's great. It's great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. Hopefully that helped.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helped.
To change your life for real. Mm-hmm. It's a great time. You guys are gonna love college. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah, most people do. I mean, the people who hate college are the people who stay in their rooms all day and don't do anything.
And you hear, and this is, I guess, partly true. I mean, I actually don't fully disagree with this. You'll hear a lot of people say like college isn't really for like learning information anymore. I'd really disagree with that. I don't know if you ever heard that, but
I've actually never heard that.
Really? There's actually a lot of people that, at least in my school, and I kind of get this because a lot of the classes just don't feel like the teachers are interested in like teaching anymore.
I'm sure,
like,
yeah.
It's just PowerPoints, and it's like it's just for the
Unfortunately.
test, and it's not for the future. And so, I was actually like talking to my dad about this, and he was kind of surprised that all of my classes were like that. He was just like, that wasn't what his experience was like. You know, his teachers actually spent like real time and effort and did a lot of stuff. And I guess some people just think college is kind of more for the money than it is for education. But I don't.
For the money, like to get money.
Or like college is the colleges are trying to make money. Let me
Oh,
clarify.
well,
that.
I mean that's probably true.
Yeah, and I think that was always true for the most part. But
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a non-profit, but they're making a profit.
yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Do they? I don't think they call themselves nonprofit. I don't think they. Can.
I think at one point they were supposed to be, but I don't think they consider themselves that
Yeah,
anymore.
they can't. They're not legally nonprofits. I mean, they
Yeah.
profit for sure. They make millions of dollars depending on the college.
It's interesting. I think you can learn college is the way that I see college is it's like a safety net to make any mistake and basically not have any downside for the most part. Like there are obviously some mistakes. Like
I disagree. I mean,
Really?
I think that. Yeah, I mean, I think that also comes with like the financial side of college. I mean, my parents are paying
sure.
for college, and that makes a big difference on the mental, the view of college in general. You know what I mean? Like your parents paying for it versus you working and paying for the whole thing on your
Sure.
own. Like I think that would make a big difference.
Yeah.
And I try not to be. I try not to undercut that.
Yeah,
you know?
I get that. But I think that like maybe not academically, but
I do see what you mean.
I don't know. I think I still hold by that opinion. I think that you can basically make any mistake in college for, don't murder anybody. You can make a lot of mistakes in college, maybe not every single day. Almost any mistake in college and basically have no significant downside as long as you're going to a college where you're not really reaching. Like if you're going to a college that's like $100,000 a year, then that's problematic, you know what I mean? Unless it's like Harvard. But if you're going to a college that you can afford, then I don't see, like I'm going to a college that I can like handle, you know what I mean? And so I don't, like financially, and so I can, like you can make mistakes and be okay and not like you don't have kids, you don't really have anybody relying on you personally. This is the case for everybody. For me, I'm very blessed. You're right, like check myself, right? Like this isn't the case for everybody. But I think for a lot of people at college, like you can make a lot of mistakes and it just won't matter.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I guess college is really the time to make mistakes and learn from them. So
apparently all of your 20s is like that. From what I hear.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say that. You know, I wouldn't even say that's college. I would just say that's
maybe it's just being young. Yeah, true.
Even if we weren't in college, I think it would still be the time to make mistakes.
Sure. Yeah.
If anything, I think college would make the mistakes more detrimental, probably.
Oh,
with
really?
How much you've spent on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean,
it's
like I
more
said, that goes back about just like you go to a college that you can afford. Not
it also depends on the mistake too.
Yeah,
don't kill somebody.
Yeah, that's not really something you can come back from.
Obviously, it's a straw man.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the straw mans have actually some use to them, but we won't get into that.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of college, you know what I hate when professors do? Like
What's
every
that?
single time, I hate this. You know what I say? I hate when they say like, happy finals. You know what I mean?
Shut up.
It's like, bro, what do you mean happy final? Happy studying?
Yeah.
Like, what does that even mean? Happy?
Yeah.
I'm not happy. You can't do that.
That's screwed up.
That's
Happy
crazy.
having to grade all my tests.
Yeah.
Screw you.
Yeah. Taking 5
Yeah.
months to grade one test.
And they say that after they barely taught me. I swear.
I know, bro.
Like they say that after I basically had to self-teach myself.
Yeah,
you
they'll
know what I
go
mean?
through a PowerPoint and then be like, "You guys got that?" Everybody says no. All right, well, happy studying.
Yeah.
Come
That's
on,
funny.
bro. Speaking of happiness,
Yeah.
I've incorporated this into my life, and I'm actually curious what you think about this. If you think this is a little bit of an oversimplification, or if you actually think it has some use to it, and hopefully, incoming freshmen can also learn from this too. I got it from Alex Hormozy, and so he has like a good day formula. Like, what do I do in a day that makes it a good day? And so he has 3 things that make him have a good day, and I think they were. I don't actually remember them. Go watch his video, but it was like working out with people he likes, eating food with people he likes, and writing things. I think those were his 3. And so I've developed 3 for myself, and it's been super helpful to be like, if I do these 3 things in my day, it's a good day for me. Like, this is a good day, you know what I mean? And I'm actually curious if you have 3 things.
Do you actually
in your
feel the
day.
way?
Huh?
Do you feel that way?
Correct,
When you
yeah.
do those 3 things, for sure, that's a good day.
At the end of the day, I feel like I was like, well, this was a good day. And you don't do it from like, it isn't like you saying them and then it happens. It's like, what have the best days in my past been? What were like the things that happened in those days that made me really enjoy that day? You know what I mean? And so my 3 things are, and I basically ripped off Alex Hormozy's thing, but whatever. And it doesn't have to be 3, it can
I'm
be
sure
like
he
6.
ripped off somebody else.
Nah, who knows? But no, he didn't do that, bro. Come on. He did. So my 3 things are doing things I enjoy with people I like, filming, and editing. My best days in my life have encompassed at least one of those things. At least one of those 3 things have contributed to me having a good day. You know what I mean? Like, I can't have a good day. I won't have a good day unless one of those 3 things are at play. Doing things with people I like, filming, and editing. You know what I mean? And so, like, if all 3 of those things are in the same day, GG's. If 2 of them are, great. If one of them is, that's fine. If none of them are, I'm probably not going to have a good day. And that's not me saying, like, I'm not going to have a good day because I'm not, like, speaking that over myself. I'm just saying, like, in the past.
In your experience.
In my experience, when none of those things were at play, it wasn't a very good day. But when some of those things were at play, it was a good day. And so it helps because now in the future, you're like, okay, I better start doing these things if I want to have a good day. I'm curious if you think that's, like, an oversimplification, speaking bad things over myself, or, like, actually beneficial.
I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I mean, I think it's really what works for you because, like, for example, I've tried stuff like that before. I don't have nearly as much success as you do. Actually, it makes it a lot harder for me to configure my life.
What do you mean?
I think you're very to your systems, like
Sure.
these things you do, it doesn't matter that it's the things you do and those contribute to kind of how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, I've actually put a lot of time into trying and doing stuff like that, and the more that I do it, the more that I realize that I don't enjoy having to write out stuff like that in my life. You know what I mean? Like, for example, it's kind of along the similar lines of what you're doing, but like, mapping out like a perfect day of everything you've done in your in your experience. Map out a perfect day. Obviously, it might not always happen, but what would that look like, and how would that be? And I guess sticking to them or not sticking to them, I don't feel much of a difference. I actually honestly, I feel more constricted and contained when I'm having to always try to do those things. Like, I don't want my mentality and my feelings to be dictated by, I guess, what I've done in the day.
Oh, really? Then what's it dictated by?
Or maybe not what I've... Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I apologize. Okay. Because, I mean, it's really impossible to say that. The things you do in the day kind of do dictate. Yeah. So I think that was really a bit immature saying that. But, I mean, in my experience, I feel more constricted trying to stick to systems like that. And also, getting those things done doesn't actually make me feel that much better.
Interesting.
It doesn't.
Okay.
And that honestly, I don't like saying that's how I work, because I think that people try to say that all the time, like, oh, it is, I am who I am.
Can't change
like,
the
this is
stripes
who
on
I
a
am.
zebra, you know.
Yeah, you know,
Hate
man,
that saying, bro.
I dislike that,
Yeah.
and so I know that I can change it, and it's just how much time I want to spend into it. But the more I try it, the more I realize, like, I don't like that structured of a life. I dislike it. I feel constrained. I feel constricted. I just dislike it. So
You like having more freedom in your day, kind of thing?
freed. What do you mean by freedom in the day?
Being able to choose what you want to do.
I
than
guess
having
choose what I want to do, and it's not that I hate. It's not that I dislike scheduling in a way. It's kind of hard because there's one part of kind of just how it makes you feel, and then the second part of how it advances your life.
That's
and,
interesting.
And so it's kind of hard to balance those two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think what you feel and what like what was it called? Like
What you feel and
like-
what you do.
yeah, what you feel and what you do. I think those are pretty closely related in your mind when I think of you. I think that's also
Oh,
from
then when you think of
yeah,
me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I, mean,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's also from a lot of hard work. I mean, I see that from
100%,
you, and
100%.
it's a lot of stuff I know unspoken. It's a lot of hard work that you don't tell to other people, and I respect that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I don't want to say that that's not who I am, but in my experience, I have a harder time and also just less fulfilling of a time trying to do that.
So that's interesting.
Um,
Like you don't like my method of doing things where it's like systems predetermined, sticking to them kind of thing.
for myself. Yes.
Okay, so
It's
that's-
not that I don't like it, I actually love it. I think it's a good system.
Yeah, for you. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually interesting. So
even, yeah.
on a previous podcast, you mentioned how you're, and this is kind of going back into like the advice for incoming freshman thing. You made a joke about how you're almost autistic when it comes to social things. I'm wondering if you could elaborate on that, what you meant by that, you know?
What was the context?
I'm almost autistic when it comes to social things because you said like you really plan it out and you really like try to, it almost
Oh,
to
yeah.
me sounded like you stick to like systems when it comes to social things. You know what I mean? Like you really plan it out, like you almost know what you're going to say before you say it kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd consider that a system. I think system's a pretty broad word.
Uh-huh.
And so I don't want to say that I don't plan for the future,
Yeah.
I suppose. But for the most part, I don't really, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really think about that, like, scheduling my life like I think about that as the perfect day, you know? I mean, maybe that's just a feeling, but that feels, in my opinion, different. Like, I guess maybe it's just the fact that there's other people. I mean, that could be part of it because for better or for worse, I mean, I do try to perform like better for people, you know. I want to do my
Sure,
best for
sure,
this
sure.
person, you know, and sometimes I might not even do that for myself, but I will do it for this person.
Okay.
And so I think
It's interesting.
I think part of that could be that aspect, you know, where I want to make it as perfect as possible, and so I kind of plan it out. But it's I don't really think that I'd like planned it out to what I was talking about that often. I mean, I did it a couple of times. Like, you know, I'd write like let's sit, like I was in like 10th grade, I'd write pickup lines. I'd be like, okay, if they respond this, I'm going to respond like this. And if they say this, I'm going to say this.
Uh-huh.
And then I got all this mapped out, you know. I was like chess, you know.
Yeah.
That was fun for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know, most of the time that I don't do that most of the time. That's not a common
Okay.
thing for me, I suppose.
I gotcha. That makes sense.
Autistic in social settings. That's pretty funny.
You said it multiple times too. I wrote it down after like the fourth time.
That's funny.
Dude, you know what I saw? I saw this thing when I was at the gym. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I want one so bad.
What's that?
And I can't find it on Amazon. So this guy, right? He was at the gym working out as you do. And you know how like there's like metal things that hold up the gym. So it's like a pull, you know, like the pull downs, like the triceps extension things.
Like, yeah, the rope and then the cable.
Yeah,
and
the
then
cable's at the top, and then there's like metal obviously holding the cable down, right?
Yeah. Oh, like the plates.
Yeah.
But not like the plates you're thinking of,
The-
but from machines.
Yeah, like the metal poles that obviously hold up the machine, so it's not just floating in the air because that would disobey the laws of physics.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking
You know,
about.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So those, and they're metal, right?
Mhm.
And so some guy had a water bottle with a magnetic strip that he attached to the side. And so he was holding his water bottle while he was doing his sets. And do you want to know the craziest part?
What's that?
His phone was connected to the water bottle too. Can you believe it? So the water bottle, one side had a metal strip on it. The other side, I guess, had like a slider for his phone. And then guess what? There was also a handle on it.
Oh, I thought you meant like Bluetooth connection. I was
No,
your phone, you are at 20% water. Like, what does that mean? You connected to your phone?
No, like physically. And so he connected it, and then he had his phone, his water bottle, his handle on his water bottle, and the metal thing.
That's cool. So you're telling me he could be like hitting tricep pull downs? He could just
literally,
and
he can use his nose to like touch his phone and stuff.
That's not tough, actually. I mean, that's the wrong word.
Come
That's
on,
cool,
bro.
though.
That's tough to me. That's tough to me.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Man, that's your seal of approval right there. That's tough, guys. Crazy, but yeah. Would you ever consider like getting a guest on the podcast? I know we talked about getting a guest and we agree, but I'd be interested in doing it in the next.
I would
couple,
love
bro.
to
That'd
do
be
a
cool.
guest. Do we have anybody?
No, nobody famous yet. Shoot, I mean,
Come on, Alex Hormozy, Logan Paul, shooting it for the stars.
Dude,
you know?
can we make a compilation of all the times you said Alex Hormozy?
Every single podcast, bro.
I think that might be the only way to convince him to be like, all right, this kid's obsessed.
He's one of my heroes, bro.
Yeah.
Logan Paul is too.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Less of a counter on that.
Yeah, but Logan's pretty cool. Never met him. He probably sucks in real life. I'm just kidding. No, he's probably cool. He's a dad, bro. He doesn't have time. Logan. That's why he's not saying yes. That's why he's not saying yes.
Yeah, saying yes to what? Oh, it's a podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. And Alex Hormozy. He's just too rich for us, bro.
What about Logan's kid?
So we can't afford that. We can't afford her either. Esme.
He probably. She probably has more time on her hands than Logan does.
Yeah, but we can't afford her, bro. We can't afford her. She's too rich. Her net worth is already higher than ours. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's crazy to me. Does Logan Paul actually like post a lot of stuff with her?
Not often. I mean, he does like weekly vlogs that he does put her in, but not often. He doesn't like he got like a Prime. He got gifted a Prime shirt for his kid, and he's like, I don't want to brand my kid, kind of thing. And I respect that. I think if I had a kid and I was vlogging like him, I wouldn't show her at all. But you know, different people.
Maybe on one of the social media accounts I might mention I'm having a kid or something.
I'd probably mention I'd have a kid. Yeah, like I do like the ultrasound whatever thing, but I wouldn't show the kid.
Yeah, I'm not really. I really dislike a lot of the parents' desire to make their child famous. You know what I mean? And a lot of times I see that going,
like Family Channel things.
Yeah, I mean, that's an older example, but nowadays you see like there's a lot of streamers now too, like, and even like kid rappers. Like there's a 9-year-old kid, like there's like I think his name is Lil RT, and he's cussing every third word. You know what I mean? It's like it's funny, you know. And you're watching the stream, and I think he's like 9.
Oh, what?
10 years old. Yeah, and you know,
goodness.
it's like you watch the stream and you're like, oh, okay, that's a good song, you know. But that's horrible.
Is that his parents doing that?
Yeah, his dad's on the stream with him.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, he went on he's cussing out or something.
Yeah, 9.
At 9 years old.
It's crazy. Yeah.
And he's like acting all hood, like you know what I mean.
Yeah. He's from the hood, but he's living in a $3 million mansion kind of thing.
And he's 9. He's 9 years old, guys. You don't have a Glock in your pocket. Shut up.
Bro, somebody commented on our podcast and said that they just got dumber watching our podcast.
Really?
And I'm like, bro, like we get hate like relatively often. It's never affected me until that one comment. I was like, what do you mean you got dumber?
Was that the one that misspelled dumber?
Maybe, bro. I don't know how to spell dumber, bro. I probably misspelled it wrong in my notes. This podcast isn't dumb, right?
I swear I saw one comment from, I don't remember if it was the main or the pod, but it was something similar. It's like, man, like I got dumber, but it was like DUMMER instead of, that's what it is. It's DUMB.
It is DUMB. Oh, sure.
Are you dyslexic?
I haven't gotten tested, bro, but low key, I think I'm just stupid.
I mean, do you read slow?
I read super slow. Like it takes me like a month to get through a book, and then I have to read the book twice because the first time around I didn't even remember a thing that I read, and I'm just dumb in general, bro. I'm telling you, if I took an IQ test, it would be in the negatives.
Really?
But I don't think so. This is interesting because I know there's like, is there like medication you can take for stuff like that? But I don't. It's almost like it'd be worse if I knew. I had some sort of learning thing, like learning disability or something, because then I like almost would subconsciously use it as an excuse. That's at least my thoughts on it. I know that's like, controversial, but that's at least my opinion. Like I feel like I would rather not know and just try to do my best with what I have rather than know.
Yeah, it's hard because at first you have to accept that there's actually something wrong with you.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people that's actually pretty hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you got to take the medication, and then you got to.
But then it's like I see so many people using that as like an excuse to not do stuff. You know what I mean?
I see that all the time.
And I'm really worried about that for myself because I feel like that's definitely something that's in my character to do. And even that statement is probably pretty self-defeating. But yeah, so I think I'd rather just not know. Like maybe I am just dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's also scary because, and this is my experience, and maybe different where you guys are living, and it's really easy to get diagnosed. Like I don't.
True,
you could go
true,
in
true.
and say you have all this stuff, and you could get out of there with like pills for that thing like within the day. You know, that's scary to me for some of these
I mean, they're incentivized
man.
to do it, unfortunately. Like they're not incentivized to learn more and learn like about the person and like, hey, let's hold off on this for a few months. Let's learn, like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, let's try to solve this problem as quick as we can. Not for two reasons: A, financials, and B, the parents. Like the parents keep like, I want to get my kid fixed. Let's get it going. You know what I mean? And it can be very. I've seen it firsthand, and I know this is a big thing in like the right world space of like you see, like parents will impact like parents. Like you impose this issue on a kid, and now he lives with this issue for like his whole life, and it's his that whole identity. He's like, I am, dyslexic or something, and I saw it happen in middle school, high school. I see it happen now. It's like I can't do this because I have ADHD or I have OCD or I have dyslexia or XYZ. You know what I mean? And in my opinion, that's really self-defeating. Like you can't physically, you can't, or you're just saying you can't. It's not my place to say, but it's an interesting discussion to have.
I guess. The thing is, though, the earlier you diagnose it on the successful cases, the better you'll be able to treat it. And
yeah, there's two sides. There's two sides. It depends. It's not a question I have an answer to. Like if my kid, if I thought my kid had some sort of problem like that, what would I do as a parent?
There's no perfect answer.
I have no idea. I think both could go wrong. I don't know what I would do yet. I'd probably end up, giving them the medication, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I don't know. You could really go either way. Like teach them how to. Handle it without the medication or with the medication.
Yeah, I actually really like what my parents did. They said it's, well, I don't remember specifically what year they said it was okay to like get diagnosed, but they said it's okay to go get diagnosed, but they didn't want me and my siblings taking medications for those diagnoses until we were 16. So we had time to deal with it, and it was, we could still know that we had it and plan our life according to that, but she didn't want us, or my parents didn't want us to do that until 16 because, and even 16 is pretty young because your brain's still developing until 25, and that's hard.
Idiot then, idiot now.
Yeah, no, I didn't say yeah agreeing with that. I was just saying yeah, but
well, I mean, are you dyslexic? I'm just kidding.
You called me autistic.
You called yourself autistic.
Yeah.
I was writing what you said.
Yeah.
What do you mean, bro?
All right.
Do you think that was beneficial? Like, you're grateful that they did that? You think that was a net benefit?
Mm-hmm. I think starting that medication earlier would have been, it was medication for ADHD. I mean, I'm fine with saying it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard because like first off, it was super easy to get diagnosed, so I'm still kind of like, do I even have it, bro?
Yeah,
like I went in and I got it, but do I even have it?
Yeah.
But I'm glad that she did it until I waited until I was 16, so I could properly understand first off, the dangers of the pill and how that can affect me, and also just the brain development, really. I mean, you just don't understand the consequences of taking that pill and getting too used to it when you're really young.
I used to be really like against all of those things, like becoming reliant on medication. But what's interesting is that I have an issue where if I don't do this set of medication things, I basically like really struggle to breathe. You know what I mean? And so I am reliant on those medications, and I don't have a problem with that either.
Right.
And so I think it just depends on the severity of the issue and things like that. Like I think that
It's hard. There's no right answer.
I know there is no right. I used to be really like I don't want to be reliant on any medication, but I am taking medication. I am reliant on it. You know what I mean? And so
I'm the same way.
it's interesting.
Yeah, with hemophilia, I was the same way. You know, like I don't want to do any medication, but I still have to take this thing every single week. That's frustrating. I'm sure yours is a similar way.
Yeah. I think yours might be a little bit worse than mine, but
I don't know. I'd actually rather. No. I'm not gonna say I'd rather have hemophilia.
We're good, bro. We're good. We're chilling.
They're both annoying.
We're both good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough, and I don't think there's a right answer. I definitely would really have to think about it with my kid, eventually, hopefully. But
gene therapy's coming up soon. They might be able to get rid of it before the kid's even born. That's so exciting.
If AI doesn't kill us all before then,
Yeah, the CRISPR is really cool to me.
What's
like
that?
Well, it's a specific. It's not a company. It's a tool that splices genetics, or not splices, but let me not explain how it works before I get dumb. For me specifically, it's going in and allowing my body to create clotting factors, so allowing my body to be able to like stop bleeding, essentially.
Cool.
And it's not just like before the kid's born. It's actually I can do it at like 18. I can do it right now. They introduced it to me a couple of years ago. I told them I was hesitant, first off because it was like a couple $1 million, and I doubt insurance was going to cover that. And then second off was because I didn't know what the long-term effects were, but
Sure.
I think those are starting to come out now.
And
And also
it's looking
since
promising.
yeah, it is.
Cool.
It still hasn't been long enough, but honestly, my sister had a kid. He has hemophilia as well.
Oh, actually?
Just as severe as
didn't know
mine.
that.
Yeah, it's super bad. So I might take it so that I can help him understand
So
it better and see how
The
it goes.
medications for your future child?
No, so even if it's actually this, I didn't understand this for a long time, or like I didn't understand it, but no, if I fix my hemophilia right now, my kid will. Well, it's not that my kid would have hemophilia. Like that's kind of a weird thing with passing on hemophilia specifically, because it's just on the X chromosome. But it doesn't change anything about my future children.
It doesn't affect. So you could, quote, cure your hemophilia, and their likelihood would stay the same of getting it and not getting it?
Yeah, it's like losing a finger now. My kid's not going to have 4 fingers,
Sure. I
kind of
gotcha.
thing, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very interesting. But not just the fact that those long-term health benefits are coming out, but I think insurance would pretty much cover most of it or all of it, which is amazing to
Wow.
me. And so I might do it just for the kid, just so he can understand. I can do it early and go through the process and help him go
And
through it.
then
if
you're
he ever
like, this
wants
is
to do
what
it.
happened to me kind of thing.
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's
Exactly. I
great.
think
I
that'd be
love
cool.
that. Kind of factoring everything there. I love that.
That's scary, man. That's a crazy change. I mean, it's a good change, of course, but like it's kind of weird.
What?
Having this like identity or like part of your character for such a long time, and having the
sure.
ability to get rid of it, it's a weird feeling.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's crazy that even though I have the button to press to get rid of it, I'm almost hesitating. What
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
It's weird.
It's like changing your hair color or something.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
kind of.
Dude,
But
I guess I got a question. Along the hair color lines, like where should the line be drawn in genetic modifications of your future child? Like if we're continuing on genetic modifications, and like let's just say in 100 years, you can make your child's hair color blue, you can make all of their diseases gone, where should the line be?
I think
It's a hard question, I know.
I think it's subjective, but for
I think
me,
so too.
I would draw a line between a health thing and a personal thing. And so the diseases would be a health thing. Like this would objectively, they would not want to have this, I would have to assume. But I wouldn't change anything about the way they look, their hair color, their eye color, or anything like that. I'd leave that all up to, chance, but or I guess genetics, not chance. But I would, if I had the ability to make it so they didn't have diseases or didn't have like genetic defects, which technically some hair colors are technically considered
That's what I'm
genetic
saying.
defects.
Like there's so many nuances in those.
That is an interesting.
Like, do you think it's okay to get rid of mild asthma? You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
as a very specific example. But like, there's a lot of nuanced health conditions that are going to be hard, that people are going to have different opinions on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd
do
lean
agree with
towards
the line
doing
being
it.
subjective,
I'd lean
though.
towards doing it. I would. I'd have to see where it went, and then obviously like how much it would affect.
Yeah.
But if I had the ability to remove the diseases or majority of diseases from my kid, I would. I'd do
Oh
it.
yeah. I think any parent would take that for sure.
Yeah. But yeah. Then again, then it depends. Like how much of it is your kid, how much of it is just a genetic modification. That gets into like a moral thing of like, yeah, I guess it depends on your worldview. But
You have a kid that looks nothing like you, that has none of your.
but they don't have
Yeah.
diseases.
Right.
I would take that. I would take that trade. You know what I mean? I
Right.
would definitely take that trade.
And so I'm assuming it would be the same way as CRISPR, where that child would pass on and they wouldn't pass on what they were modified. I mean, I guess I don't know how the well, I guess the science doesn't exist yet, right?
Yeah, I'm not
Like,
sure how it
we
would
can't-
work. Would it change the hereditary line, or would it just be for that kid and the underlying genetics, kind of what you were talking about?
Yeah, that's
with
what I'm curious.
hemophilia is
Yeah.
like would be the same. I don't know. That then we get to a point where like before the kid gets born, it'd be like vaccinating your kid before they were born, like getting rid of all of these genetic variants. I don't know. I'm curious how
Or like
where
the
that's
kid
gonna
was
go.
changed for the parents' preferences, and you don't know that down the line they might hate all of the things that this parent did.
See, I wouldn't do if it was just a preference thing and it wasn't like a health thing, like a disease thing. I'd just let them go. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I don't want to change anything.
Right.
Unless it was a girl, I'd want to make it a boy. I'm just kidding. I'm just
Nice,
kidding.
yeah.
I'm just kidding. But if it did help like a health thing, I'd probably
4 hands,
forearms, bro. Ben 10,
Exactly.
like forearms.
16. Yeah.
If he has 16 fingers, he can type better. You know.
Exactly.
Stretch Armstrong power.
But doctor, it's needed. It's a health condition.
Doctor, listen to me. It's a health
you
condition.
want my
Only
child to be
five-
average? Actually,
Make him 7'8". We'll throw him in the NBA.
I guess all doctors pretty much want the patient to be average. Well, no, I guess they want them to be healthy.
I don't. Is healthy average?
I was about to say, because I said average, but then I realized, like, average in all places might not actually
not
mean
be
healthy.
healthy, yeah.
So I guess they mean healthy. Mm-hmm. That's crazy, bro.
Dude, you know something. Something really unfortunate happened to me. So I was in Walmart, and this happened. Something very similar to this happened. Oh, you know what? I definitely already talked about this in the podcast, but I'm gonna talk about it again real quick because I already brought it up.
Shit, I don't even remember the story.
Yeah, so, bro, I was
guys.
in Walmart and some lady looked at me
yeah.
and she said, "Excuse me, ma'am." No, this is different. There were two different things.
Oh, okay.
I already said this one. I haven't said this one yet. Okay. And so some lady looked at me, or she didn't look at me at all. I was like going, and some worker was, working, and she said, "Excuse me, ma'am." And I looked, and I said, "Yeah." And then she looked at it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And bro, something so similar happened to me in a previous episode, but I think.
Why does this keep happening?
I
to
don't
you,
know,
What are
bro.
you
Some
doing
lady
wrong?
said Sarah, and I said Alexander.
Stop waving at people you don't know.
Bro, I don't know. I don't know how it happened,
Hello,
bro.
stranger.
I don't know. She just said, "Excuse me, ma'am," and I looked over and I said, "Yeah." I don't understand, bro. Like what? Has anything like that ever happened to you? Where like
Actually, a lot. Oh, sorry. The excuse me, ma'am thing. Because I used to have, as a kid, right? I used to have long hair. And so, like, any substitute teacher would come and be like, "All right, now a boy come up and like write on the chalkboard, and now a girl come up and they'd like choose me." And I'd be like, "Bro, what the fuck?" Or I used to be in Boy Scouts, and we always used to go to this like elderly home for like we'd sing Christmas carols, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm sure they hated it, bro. I'd hate that if I was a retirement home. Oh my god! But all of them misdiagnosed me as a
Misdiagnosed
yeah,
you.
exactly. Bro, I'm in the Boy Scouts. I'm in a Class A uniform. What do you mean?
Yeah.
But that happens to me. But I don't know. I don't know if that was your question.
No, my question was, has anything? Have you ever? You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever had a dream?
You with me? Has anything ever happened to you and your reaction was just not what it was supposed to be? You know, like it just was counter what you should have done in that scenario. Like someone says, "What's up, bro?" and you go like "Slay Queen" or something. Like it just was not what you were supposed to be doing. Because, bro, that happens to me on the regular.
The first one that comes to my mind is your story, actually. The one of you, like, dapping somebody up and then... Or what? It was a teacher and you were shaking their hand. And
Bro,
tapped
yeah,
them
I'm
up.
saying you, not me.
I know.
If you didn't
Nothing
see the
comes to
pod,
mind immediately.
there was a teacher who went to, like, shake my hand or something, and I just held their hand for, like, 3 seconds.
See,
and
now
walked away.
I try to suppress those memories as far deep as
I do
possible.
too, bro, but they're
So,
funny for the pod.
to the
so-
point where I can't even remember them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think about them when I go to bed, bro.
Really?
I'm
I'm gonna start writing them down for you.
Yeah,
and I'll
yeah,
answer
yeah.
that question.
Bet.
I got you.
Bet.
What
Okay.
Because I think about embarrassing things I do. It's just-
Dude, you know what we should do? I mentioned this to you before off the pod, and you were very hesitant to it. But maybe now that the camera's in front of you, you'll be less hesitant. Peer pressure. No, I'm kidding. Dude, we should play tennis for a whole podcast. What do you think?
I'm down. Did you say you mentioned this on a podcast?
I didn't mention this on a
okay,
podcast. I
was about to
mentioned
say.
it in general.
Yeah. Was I hesitant towards it?
You were.
I mean, it's hot, but.
Oh yeah,
I
we
don't
want to
mind
do it for the next like 3 to 6. But
Oh, sure, I'd be fine with it. I don't mind the heat.
Oh
The camera does, though.
yeah, no, not for like we have to wait until it gets a little cooler.
Oh, well, I got you.
But
Well,
I-
let's go
but I think we
fishing
should
for a
do it.
podcast.
Fishing for a podcast.
Yes.
We already did.
I know, but that was like podcast number 2.
6.
There's so much. Really? That was
Yeah.
quick. Good job.
Thank you.
I thought, really?
Yeah, 6.
Was it the one where we we're not using our hands, so we did it with our feet?
No, I don't
That was
count that
number
one.
2.
That was number
Oh,
2.
come on.
I don't count that
I
one.
was
We didn't
right.
even go fishing. We
I
both
was so
snagged.
right. We were
Oh,
fishing.
sure.
The line was in the water. It was
We
just
were both snagged the
around the
whole
tree.
time. The line was in the. Your line. We made a joke. Your line didn't even touch water the whole time. Your first
hanging,
cast
yeah.
immediately got stuck in a tree and
That's
never
messed
touched
up.
it again.
Yeah, I love that though.
Mm-hmm.
Fishing for a podcast would be cool. Fishing would be cool. No
Bro,
podcast.
you just want to
needed.
fit. I don't know if you guys saw like. I guess we talk about most of our video ideas on camera now, but off camera, bro, and on camera, he's always trying to find a way to incorporate fishing into the.
It's just so interesting for the viewers. The viewers want it.
Yeah.
They're all telling me. They're
It's-
telling me they want it.
Yeah.
They're DMing me specifically that they all
They're
want fishing.
DMing you on our joint Instagram account.
Yeah.
The all right, guys. Make your say your comment now. Would you rather have more fishing videos or less fishing videos?
All right, time's up. Yeah, I guess.
Well, I'm out of ideas, bro.
But, I think it would be cool.
I ran them all out.
Oh, really? No, but I may have mentioned this before, but doing a podcast on a canoe would be so cool.
Yeah, I'm down to do that.
Oh, I'm down. Actually,
Yeah.
bet.
I don't know how we do it. We'd have to get somebody on land recording us.
See, I only think we need 2 angles. Like I don't know. I mean, if I can anchor it down,
Anchor what down?
the boat, the canoe.
That wouldn't really solve any problems. Oh, I mean, I guess, yeah, so we'd have a
If it's in
tripod
the
on
same
land.
spot at all
I mean,
times.
how would it be in the exact same spot
Yeah.
to the inch?
No, it
How,
wouldn't be.
how many?
I could
like,
probably try.
couple
I don't
feet?
know. I'd have to do more research to see if I can get it to
Yeah.
stand exactly. I mean, I feel like
I'm
an anchor
honestly,
on 2
we could
sides.
probably ask somebody to do it for free. Like, we could probably just say, hey, you mind doing this thing for an hour for free?
That sounds horrible, bro. Sounds like slavery. What is wrong? What do you mean?
I feel like somebody would do it. Come on. Like, somebody would do it. Somebody would do it.
I wouldn't want to do that. I'll pay him.
Oh, bet. Let's pay him.
Okay.
I just thought you were against paying people.
I guess. What a miss. Yo, that's blasphemy. That is blasphemy.
I mean,
alright?
like, because you don't want to waste the money.
Oh. When we were at 20 subscribers, guys, he wanted to.
We're only at 90-something now. Not
I
too much
know.
of a difference.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
5 times.
Oh, I
5
guess
times
it
the
is a
amount of
big difference
subscribers.
technically,
Can
yeah.
you believe that?
Yeah.
Less viewers, but it's
crazy how that works.
We just jinked on our nostril exhales. That's
Did we?
crazy. Yeah, we did the same tempo and pace, bro. That's when you know you've hung out too much.
Yeah, we
too
do the
long.
same. We do the same nostril exhales.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
But that's cool though. Like humans and their like ability to mirror. You know, like 90% of communication really isn't like actually verbal.
Interesting culture. Yeah. I mean, all animals other than humans, interactions aren't verbal. I don't think that's true.
That's not true.
Yeah, dolphins,
dogs,
birds, dogs, every other
Giraffes,
animal,
yeah.
giraffes, and every other animal.
Yeah.
Well, is it verbal if they're not making words?
Yeah,
Like, is this verbal?
yeah.
I didn't say anything yet, bro. Like, is this verbal? Caw.
Do I understand the point of the message?
No.
It's not English, but it's verbal.
Oh, fair, bro. Bro, I'm in an if it's not English, it's not verbal.
I like what bees do. They actually dance to get their message across.
Is it really?
Mhm.
Bro, we should do
Very
that.
interesting. You know what ants do? They vomit at each other's throats. They go, ah,
Do
food's
they
that
really?
way. Ah. Yeah.
Actually?
Okay, yeah. Like so, some
do you
ants,
know?
yeah. I heard
Read
it
it.
from like some of those documentaries a while ago. Like, you ever seen those ant farms before?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
very,
yeah.
very
National
cool.
Geographic kind of thing.
I don't know if it's all ants, but I do know some ants too. That's pretty cool to
Yeah.
me. Very efficient. They get straight down to the brass tacks.
True.
But
True.
I don't know. I wouldn't consider it verbal, but I would consider it communication.
Valid. It's a valid take.
Yeah.
Speaking of communication, you know what I'm really excited for to upload in the next 16 months?
What's up?
Our music video, bro. I'm excited about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think.
Dude, we almost need to start like doing like the prep for it on the podcast just so we can get a podcast and like work on it at the same time. It's just gonna take time. If you ever make like a song and a music video, it takes more than 2 hours. So
Well, if you want to make it good, we had a product.
I didn't
Did we not?
I didn't say it was gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
gonna be cool. It's gonna be funny. I think. Who knows? But I don't know if it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be funny to us.
It's gonna be funny to us, and that's all that matters. It's not all that matters. Kind of. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, that is a good part of why I'm doing YouTube.
What for the fun?
No. Well, I mean, like half of it is for the viewers, and then half of it is for me. You know, like I partly do YouTube
Fair.
because of that.
Same.
Like I don't want to have my whole YouTube thing of just like, okay, what do people want to see? Like, I think that is important, but it's also like, okay, well, what do I want to post? What will I feel good about posting?
Yeah. I think it's a balance for sure. Like I guess you don't want to go all one way or the other. Although
Right.
I guess the people who go all one way get more views, but they're also compromising a lot of, I guess.
Or maybe they posted the one I went to, and then found their niche, and then all of a sudden they're doing
Yeah.
and then they choose to.
True.
You know what
That's really
I mean?
winning
Like,
at
they probably
YouTube.
have years of planning before, or not planning, but like YouTube
Doing it
beforehand
before,
before
yeah,
they
yeah.
turn to that.
Well, it's interesting. So, Gary Vee's talking a lot about this, how we're not in social media anymore. We're in interest media. And so, and other people have been saying this too, Alex Hormozy also, but that's neither here nor there. The point is that social media was you kind of have to build up a following before you go viral. And interest media is you can have 0 subscribers, 0 everything, and one of your videos can get 10 million views if it's good enough. And bro, when I heard that, I was so disappointed. I'm like, are you kidding me? That just means our videos suck.
Yeah.
Like, dang it, bro. But it honestly is also reassuring too, because that means we can put a ton of effort into videos and like they have the chance to just really go crazy. Mm-hmm. Like apparently, according to them, and I believe it. I think they know what they're talking about. Subscribers just don't mean anything anymore. Like,
yeah. I think it was always the case, but I think it's a lot more mainstreamed now to like the smaller creators. It's a lot easier. I don't know. Are you saying like it's easier? No, I guess you're not saying it's easier for
like
smaller creators.
YouTube doesn't recommend your subscribers. They recommend what you're interested in.
What do you mean?
So if you subscribe to a channel, they're not going to recommend it more. But if you watch that channel a lot, they will recommend it more. And so they look at what you're interested in. Before, I guess, according to them, it was like they would recommend like other things like your subscribers and things like that. But now it's just all like what you're interested in. They call it like the TikTokification of social media.
Yeah, I've heard that term being used for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean. Like, there's a lot of people I'm subscribed to that I just never see videos on my feed.
That's what they're saying, and I believe it. And so it's more, I guess, reason.
It's all For You page now.
Yeah,
That's pretty much what it is.
It's more reason to make our stuff good, I guess. And I guess it's more reason to...
The For You page, bro, it scares me.
How come?
In my opinion, it's a localized echo chamber for people.
Oh, yeah.
To hear their own opinions repeated back to themselves over and over.
Like, if somebody likes one opinion, they'll just see more of that one opinion.
And they're they're gonna be like, and then the things that they see are the things that they think that the world believes. You know what I mean? Like the things you see on TikTok, that's what you think the world is. But do you understand how personalized that TikTok feed is?
It's only getting more personalized.
It's showing it the stuff that you like and the stuff that you agree with.
Yeah.
And that's freaking scary. You see that all the time on like just social media in general. I mean, people talking about the same thing and having completely different like facts and opinions on it because they hear this thing. And it's not even like they hear it from one video. They hear this from like multiple different videos. And so they're like, okay, this is solid fact. this is good information, and it might not be, and it may be, but a lot of people get different things of what they think is very solid information. That just scares me a lot. I mean, I see that all the time. I feel like a majority of maybe not majority, but a lot of arguments I see nowadays are like because people believe things. How do I want to put this? I guess because they believe like these true facts to be like natural whole truths, and it's just
Natural whole truths.
What am I trying to say? Well, first off, I mean, I think a lot of people have like different definitions of words. Like you hear like woke or TikTokification.
Yeah.
Or and people use them kind of when they want to, and so that definitely
When it
comes with a problem.
feels right.
Yeah, and I see that on social media too. Like a lot of times, like the personalized feed, you'll see those words more often being used and what those people want. But I guess it's like what I was trying to say is like I see all these videos about this topic, and so I hold it as truth, and then somebody else sees different videos of the same topic, but with people who have different opinions, and so they kind of hold something different as truth. And
only one's
honestly,
actually true.
yeah. And when I'm thinking about this, I guess I'm thinking mostly political, because I've been talking to people.
When you say those, I actually think more religious.
I see. Interesting.
Like that's also and it's definitely political too. It's probably in this current situation. There's a lot of stuff going on in the political thing, and so it's definitely political. But it's also, I see it all the time in religion. People will. Oh man, bro. I mean, and this frustrates me to my core. Is like people will say, and my iPad just died. People will they'll go. Somebody will bring up an argument against, let's say, Christianity, right?
Yeah.
And then you'll get like a TikTok response of somebody going, well, you're wrong because Genesis 3:16 says, and that frustrates me so much. And it's like, I wish in both the political and religious spaces you'd see more in-person debates. And so, like, rather than making one TikTok video to respond with another TikTok video, both of you would meet up in person or on Zoom and actually debate. Like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this kind of thing? And like, what's the data that back it up? And the problem is that so many people, it's either they're incorrect, like they just don't have the right data, or they aren't using data at all, and it's completely feelings based, and they're like, okay, well, this is true, I will say this is true, and if I say it with enough confidence, people will believe me, and they do. You know what I mean? And so it's like the more Christian you are, the more you'll get Christian content, and the more non-Christian you are, the more you'll get non-Christian content. That's equally as dangerous because it's on both sides. It's people who decide that they're non-Christian, no matter what, will jump to conclusions the same way that Christians will. And I only say, this kind of applies to every religion, but I only say Christian because it's what I'm most familiar with. Like, hold on, I'm going to sneeze.
Oh, okay. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Nice.
Thank you. But it's like, I completely know what you mean. And I think the solution will never happen, but I think the solution is more in-person debates.
Well, yeah, and then it goes into the topic of, it's not just you hearing that information on your For You page. You also then go to like ChatGPT, and it not overconfidence, but it's gonna tell you that you're kind of right, and that is indeed correct, and that's just another authority telling or engine telling you that you're right, and that is freaking scary to me.
It's like. The phrase that I keep coming back to with all of this is like healthy skepticism, like be skeptical about everything.
Yeah.
It used to be that the more people, and I don't know, maybe not, but I used to think that like the more people that say something, the more it's probably true. But that's actually extremely false, because like you said, the echo chambers, you're just only seeing people who agree with you. Yeah,
and it literally gets to the point where like I'll see, and like people think like, okay, they think that they're so right to the point where if somebody in their opinion is wrong, like they're a bad person.
Bro, it's a personal thing, you know what I mean? Like the goal, in my opinion, should be figuring it out. You know what I mean? Should be like, what is true? That's my goal. Like whether it's this thing or that thing, whatever. I just want to know what's right and what's what does the data say? Like what do we know at this point? And people instead shift the goal to how do I make this thing true? Whether it's a political thing, whether it's a religious thing.
That's why it needs transparency,
Exactly,
no matter what it is.
Yeah, and it's I mean, you see it everywhere. Like religion and politics is the biggest thing, but it's
You guys know
literally
what we're
everything.
talking about, yeah.
Like people, and I mean, I'm guilty of this too. They've decided on what they believe, and when they see something that goes against it, it's like a personal hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it can be extremely frustrating. Extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think on that note, we'll end it here. I will always, encourage the audience, do your own research, but also look at a bunch of different sources. Like, don't just look at sources that agree with you. Look at sources, especially when in a religious context, look at sources that disagree, that are actively disagreeing. Best case, they don't have an opinion. Sources that don't have an opinion and just give the data, in my opinion, are the best sources. Also on TikTok too. Like if you see somebody just saying what happened and not their opinion on what happened, those are the people that I tend to lean towards. It's very helpful.
I was going to say the biggest thing for me, and this changed everything, is like, what is their incentive in actually saying that? Yeah. What are they gaining from saying that thing? That's all I want to say.
And if the best case, they gain nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for watching. Let us know what you want to see next. New podcasts every Thursday. Check out our main channel.
Yeah. Oh, stay safe, stay healthy, guys.
Stay safe, stay healthy. New videos every Monday on the main channel. Thursdays in the pod. See y'all.
Bye. Let's go.
This is a good one. I like that one.
I didn't mind that one.
Yeah.
It flowed well.
It did.
Yeah. Man. What a podcast.
I did like those conversations that we had. There were some pretty good conversations in there.
Me too.
I like the way it ended. Even though it was a little bit of a sour note, but,
Yeah, I don't think so.
Me too.
It's just a warning for the public. Like we normally do.